Do you want to put it in the middle of us or something?
Ah, we'll be fine.
Sure.
Yeah, it should be okay. It's fairly robust, that mic. Right, another episode of the WoeMan Outdoors Podcast with the beautiful Jackie Legs, aka Jack Fordham. Have we changed your nickname now? Have we, the collective we?
What, from Jackie Legs?
Wasn't it Wet Legs?
Wet Legs. I believe Jackie Legs. I could get them wet, but I'm not much of a swimmer.
Well, Jackie Legs, lovely man, means extremely well. Also to suggest that sometimes he doesn't mean well, but he does.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
But usually our conversations tend to veer down the road of fathers, parents.
Usually.
Any other means of just shit that enters our lives.
I feel like I think something we've definitely shared in the past that we always end up talking about is like dad stuff as like boys and men, I guess. So we can get into that if you fancy it.
Yeah. I mean, specifically though, we can just start with the general how you're doing, because I know when I turned up you said you weren't feeling too great.
Yeah, I'm having some anger issues recently, which has been ongoing for about a year or so. But it's been like a real learning curve, because I was someone who, it feels weird 'cause I'm talking to you and you know this anyway, but there was someone that dealt with anger. I was always very calm and polite and soft and things like that. Yeah, basically I went to therapy and kind of unlocked a lot of those feelings and stuff and got a lot more anger, got in touch with a lot more anger. But it's just quite overwhelming sometimes. And it comes up now at really inopportune times, and kind of particularly in relationships that are important to me.
Yeah.
I don't really get angry about little stuff. It's all just sort of childhood trauma-y, triggery stuff.
Yeah.
But I've got no tools to really cope with it, because I didn't grow up coping with anger. I just sort of kept the lid on so tight, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now when it comes up, it just blows me off my feet for a while.
So do you feel quite up a height with anger now? Because I'm assuming, because you're not someone who outwardly projects anger.
No.
But you can feel...
Certainly, I'm a really angry person, yeah. That was something I had to learn. It was just I'm seething with a lot of rage, but it just doesn't show at all, because that was something that I had to present growing up, I guess.
So what do you do when you do feel anger? Where do you put it? Where does it go?
If you'd like me to get really vulnerable.
Please.
I insist. At the moment, what it is how do I word it? Is not ever, stuff's just got on top of me quite a lot, and I want someone to literally scoop me up like a guardian angel parent character and just be like, I've got it from here.
Yeah.
And give me a little kiss on the forehead and just spread some angel wings and just take me to where I need to be and stop asking anything of me for a while. Because life's got me in that mode where, buckaroo, one more thing, and I'm just going to be like...
Yeah. It's funny how that works though, because I often tend to think that adulthood properly catches you by surprise.
Yeah.
Because you do reach a point where you go from being a child to someone who has to look after themselves, and all that external responsibility of work, looking after yourself, food, gym, all the things that allow you to kind of feel or live a fruitful life, or whatever you assume a fruitful life is, can get quite heavy. And you're then met with situations where you feel like you're balancing so much, and you have to give up one thing for another, and maybe that one thing is something that you really love, but you have to kind of put it aside to do this. And I often feel quite overwhelmed sometimes when those situations do occur, and I'm like what you said, and that's kind of what triggered me to say this, was sometimes you do just feel God, I wish I had a parent around me again to just go, hey, I'll do it.
I suspect that people that I think you crave that more if you didn't have a lot of it.
Yeah.
Probably from one parent or the other, whatever that thing is for you. I think it's probably a sort of, if there's a bit of a wound there, I think you end up in adulthood just being what, I've got to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas I think if you had a bit more of a healthy thing going on, you probably have more of an understanding of there's a more healthy parent inside your head already, rather than a bit more of a tyrant.
And do you have a bit of a tyrant inside your head?
Yeah, I think so. Surprisingly, which again, you wouldn't think it looking at us, or knowing me rather, because I'm I don't come across as tyrant-y, I don't think. But it's a real militant. I have grown out of it a little bit since therapy, but there is a part of me that always wants to just be do it exactly like this. If you don't do it right, if you fail, you are a failure. starts from the base point of like everything's shit about you, prove otherwise today sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of love in there. It's very like hyper masculine, hard edged attitude. That is getting a bit better for me, but it's still there.
So I know you like mentioned it there, but like what, or like bits of it, but what does your internal monologue tell you? Or are there like reoccurring themes or like things that you say to yourself?
I think it's like it's not so much I'm trying to think of how to answer that question the best. So the way it presents, I guess, is like I'll do things that don't feel good and aren't good for me, and I'll ignore the warning signs that that's the case, but I do them anyway because that part of me believes it's correct or normal or like acceptable or honourable or some shit like that. Like exercise was a big one that I've had to really redefine my relationship with, where I'd have injuries and pain and like massive fatigue, and I should just not do it, or I should stop, I should rest, I should try something else. But I would keep doing it anyway, and I would, to a point where I wasn't even aware that I had pain because I'd repressed it to such an extent. So then I'm having to learn that like, oh, actually like enough is enough sort of thing, and if something hurts, it's okay to stop. Yeah.
But what, I suppose then, what's like the barrier that's like stopping you from doing that in like a...
From fully like moving through that?
Yeah.
I think it's like, I guess growing up, I think I felt that was my value, was that I could work hard and do good and be a doer, like be a excellent child, like an excellent student. Do you know what I mean? Like always do what my parents expected of me, kind of thing. And I think I began to really believe that was what made me like valuable. So then I guess I'm working on accepting that I can have value if I lay in on the weekend.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me a worthless bum. I don't have to be, because it's that militant character is always super black and white. Like if my relationship with drinking got bad at one point, it was like, you never drink again. Like you can't do it. And if you have one single drink, that's a slippery slope because you've got no self-control.
Yeah.
So that whenever I hear it being like too absolute, I'm like, oh, that's that guy again. I probably need to just soften.
Mm. So like, are you in a way, or like an internal way, consciously or unconsciously, like do you feel like you're just trying, like does it come from a place of just trying to prove something to someone, or just, I don't know, be seen in a way that you feel like you need to be seen?
Yes.
In short, yes.
Yes, precisely. Yeah, no, it's that. And I know I'm grown enough to know that that's what it is, and it's not useful, and I'd like to move past it. But it's just it's just a childhood thing, isn't it, that stays with you sometimes. And it is about like being enough for my parents, you know, why they broke up and they were quite distant with me, and maybe if I was better, they would love me the way I want. And I know that that's logically, as an adult, I know that that's not true, but just it stays within you emotionally, doesn't it? That energy. So I'm just trying to let go of that, really. Some of the things, you know, I like challenging myself, and I like doing hard things, and I want to excel and do interesting things with my life. But it's trying to do that in a loving, self-loving way, I suppose, rather than like I'll show you, like, this is what I can do sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because that never satisfies. You reach one goal and then you've got to do the next thing.
Yeah, and that's quite a tough thing to stop and realise, is that, you know, the goalposts always change.
Yeah.
So even if you're, like, you know, when you're stuck in those loops, like you can, oh, I've got this job, I've now got this promotion, or I'm now doing this, look at me. But then that level of wanting to showcase something never actually goes.
Being enough, isn't it? It's like if you don't believe you're enough, then no accolade will ever convince you that you are. Yeah.
But I know a lot of that for me stemmed from, again, beautiful segue into dad.
Here we fucking go.
Strap in, ladies and gentlemen. We're going into sixth gear. But that always stemmed from it for me, and that notion of like, you know, like, and I never even realised it, because fundamentally sometimes I'm like, all that anger that I felt built up inside of me, and all this like stuff that would like I'd push down, build up, and all of a sudden it would just come out in anger.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd always be like, where the fucking hell did that come from? Or why am I struggling with this? Why have I ended up in a back alley crying my eyes out because my mates got with a girl and I didn't, and all of a sudden I'm getting upset. But then over time, like, unravelled, that was just all stemmed from, like, you know, rejection, not feeling like I could be the kind of person that somebody on a night out could get with, and that then triggers, oh my God, like this feeling of not feeling like I'm enough for her. Oh my God, that really triggers something of like me not feeling like I'm enough with my dad, and like, just again, like, not feeling like I'm enough, and then not feeling like I'm enough would make me feel very shameful because I then get angry at myself for not being able to deal with what I would assume were silly situations. Like, why the fuck am I getting so upset and triggered by the fact that, like, I'm not getting with a lass on a night out, but my mate is? But then all of a sudden, like, you just dig down and you suddenly realise that, like, oh fuck yeah, it's because, like, my dad fucked me up when I was younger. And the thing is, don't get me wrong, like, I love my dad for who he is now, and yes, things could be better, but I've come to accept it all. But somewhere down the line, you're going to done a job on me. You done a job on me?
It's really hard.
That's another story.
Yeah, it's another podcast. It's so hard though, isn't it? That bit of like, actually, I don't think I'm not done with it. Like truly accepting who your parents are and not wanting for any more, like getting over the grief of like what might have been, and like that feels like a life's journey for me. Maybe for everybody, I don't know. Well, no, maybe not, because I know some people that have they've been able to communicate with their parents in a way where like it's not this private burden that they're carrying anymore. It's like a shared thing. I know we probably won't get too far into the specifics, but I know you communicate with your dad to the best of your ability, and I try and do the same. But there's still part of me that wants more, that I need to heal that.
Yeah, and I think for me that was always the hardest because, and again, you can kind of share a little bit more about where you're at with that and how it feels, but I know where I'm at in terms of, like, I feel like I've been through that stage, but there wasn't necessarily anything that I felt like I fixed. It was more of a realization and acceptance of the fact that I don't think, and the fact not even I don't think, I can't change my dad and who my dad wants to be.
Yeah.
And my dad is quite happy being who he is at this moment in time, and the level of effort that he puts into our relationship is maybe feels like a lot to him. It doesn't feel like loads to me, but I've got to accept that he's happy putting in this level of effort. Yeah. And if I'm happy with it or not happy with it, that doesn't really matter. For me, just needed to accept that, right? Based on the level of effort that I'm getting, is that enough for me to accept and just deal with and be happy with the version of a dad that I've got? Or do I want to keep struggling on and trying to find something I can latch onto in terms of some level of change that is going to make me feel happier at a certain moment, but then over time the loop will just close again and I'll find myself back at square one where I'm like, actually this isn't enough. And I just felt like I was constantly on
so you're still deep down, you're still wanting something that isn't there, isn't it? Like you're always looking for it or pushing for it or something, which isn't quite the same as fully sort of saying like, you know what, you do you. Like I love the parts of you that I love the parts of you that I don't love, and nothing can sort of change the past, I guess. And it's forgiveness, I think, as well. Even though it's not, like, I don't blame my parents for anything. I think they fucking tried their best. Yeah. And I could not have done better in their shoes. Absolutely not. I don't think I could do better out of their shoes. I think I would struggle. But I think, weirdly, it's different between my two parents. Like, to some extent, I've accepted more about my dad, I think. Because there's a lot about him that I get a lot out of our relationship, even though I would like more, and there's still a lot of pain about the past and whatever. I do get some value and I get some enjoyment, and I like talking to him. And that's not necessarily the case with my mum. Yeah. I still love her, but it's harder. There's a lot more like stiffness in terms of like the relationship, and it's harder to communicate. Yeah.
At this point, like, what do you feel like you would need, or what do you want? Or is it nothing that you can...
It's nothing in real life. Like, it's actually, I don't really want anything. There's things that I would like, but like, I don't think it's healthy for me to want more from either of them, personally. I don't know why. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it is healthy. I'm not sure. But what I'd like is for me to be able to say that, like, my self-worth and my value isn't dependent on how I was treated as a child. Like, because I'm an adult now, and I've demonstrated to myself over years that I have a lot about me that is valuable. I just wish that I wanted to sink all the way down, so that when I speak to my parents, I'm not on some level still just like, love me.
Yeah. I think there's that constant struggle between knowing that there are issues there and you aren't necessarily going to be able to rectify the relationship in a way that you feel like you want or need. Like, there's never going to be that like golden place where you get everything that you want.
Yeah.
Because fundamentally they've grown to a place or a space where, you know, they're quite, for me and from my perspective, they're quite, you know, levels of effort in terms of I'm willing to put in this amount of effort, and that feels like a hard amount of effort for me, whereas I can always quantify it that like this level of effort
It's hard for them.
was hard for my dad.
Yeah.
And that felt like that was where his boundaries were, but his my expectations were never going to meet his.
That's a good way of thinking about it, actually.
And because of that,
It's not about, it's about effort, isn't it, rather than outcome.
yeah.
It's like effort, yeah.
But then even within that, it's like, right, well, you know, because to me it was like, well, that's not enough. I want more. And then I felt like I really had to lower my expectations or my level of acceptance to just kind of go, right, well, fundamentally, I remember my mum saying to me once, and even my therapist saying to me, they were like, look, like, if your dad was to die tomorrow, like, would you be upset? Like, how would you feel? And I was just like, yeah, I would be upset. And, you know, would I be gutted that I, like, cut off a relationship entirely because of the issues that we had? And it's really hard to quantify, but a little part of me was like, yeah, that would maybe, like, fuck me up a bit. And I don't know, that was something that I kind of thought about and pondered on for me, where I was just kind of like, you know, if I'm going to go to those degrees to make a decision, like, you know, am I happy having something, even if it's small, rather than nothing? And it's not that I have that something and I'm constantly putting in effort to try and fight for something more. I'm just like, right, that's fine. And I feel like something happened in me, and I don't know what, and I don't know where it came from or what that level of an epiphany that might have occurred happened, but like something was unburdened from me where I was like, yeah, like I'm happy with that, and I'm not willing to like fight anymore for something that I am very aware that I'm not going to get.
That seems like a healthy place to be, I think. That's where, I think on paper, that's kind of what it looks like I'm at. But I know emotionally there's still some work to do. But I've had some time away from speaking to them, and then sort of reconnected and started building something a bit new, but a bit like the old way, but with a bit more colour, I guess, and a bit more sort of depth. And I'm just sort of feeling it out. It's weird though, isn't it? Because it's new. And it's new. It feels weird for us at our age, but it must be really weird for them.
Like, it's so hard to kind of imagine, because I always used to think, like, how does my dad feel? Knowing that we have this issue.
Yeah.
Like, how does he feel? Does he think about it as much as I do?
Yeah,
It always used to, like, fucking piss me off, because I'm like, I'll never be able to know how he feels, but I was like, I hope you're hurting just as much as I am.
Yeah, I've had that too, yeah. I've had that one. Because otherwise it feels like there's like an injustice that never gets soothed, isn't it? And that stays with you. It probably does hurt them, but I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out in 30 years when we've got kids. Fuck them up.
Or maybe we should just
Well,
adopt.
you and I.
Me and you should just adopt. And like in our soul searching of understanding what we'd want out of a good father, maybe as two straight men,
Who's just a couple of
in a really fucked up way, we can adopt to get over our issues and prove to a young boy that we can do it right.
That kid would come out so fucked up. Be like, these are my two straight dads, and they only adopted me to prove a point to themselves, and they're both bad at it. Yeah, we'd ruin that boy.
But just in terms of where you are now with your, I don't know, mental well-being, mental health versus where you were, like how do you kind of like feel about everything? Like, can you reflect on it and think, you know what, like I have done a lot of fucking work and I am proud of myself, because I think somewhere within this conversation there'll be things that we look back on and hear and we'll probably think, fucking hell, that's actually like such a what a fucking journey I've been on, and fucking God, how proud am I of myself to be able to like get to this point where I can talk about it.
Actually, I actually appreciate you bringing the positivity into it, because I do feel in so many ways that I'm so much healthier than I used to be, just in the fact I can have a conversation like this. Even the fact that I'm struggling with anger, I'm like, what a win, because I never had any feelings before. So I'm like, it's amazing, it's progress, like it's growth, it's all important and necessary for me. And with the struggles with more difficult feelings, there's also lots more like excitement and more gratitude and kind of things I'm excited about in the future that I was too scared in years past to really realistically, like I could imagine and fantasize about a future, but I never really thought, I could actually do that. I thought I'd sort of resigned myself to a less exciting life. But that's all getting better. I'm starting to get excited about what the future holds and see positives in the past as well. And I do feel a lot just stronger, and I have a lot more self-respect, and there's an awful lot to be positive about. It's a shame the way mental health works that you just always dwell on the thing that's not. I suppose it wouldn't be a very interesting conversation if I was like, I'm doing really well.
Yeah.
But I am. So.
And I think with that as well, it's like, do you feel like your internal monologue has changed slightly?
Yeah,
like it's
massively.
improved?
Well, my experience of it is that like I was like, it's kind of like my internal camera was kind of like in the mess to such an extent that I didn't really know that I could take a step back. Like now I've got a point where I'm like, I feel the things happening, things are coming up, I'm feeling resentment or anger or fear or whatever, and I'm like, it's the stuff again. It's not that my life's a mess, I'm a mess, what's going on, oh my God, help me. I'm like, it's just more of the stuff. Like I know most of the stuff at this point, and I've experienced most of it before, and I know where this comes from. There's always more to learn, but like I have a part of me that's like a sort of growing inner parent that can kind of see the journey and see the progress, and is kind of like, you're doing a good job, Sonny Jim. Keep at it. And that wasn't there at all before. It was just like the whole time.
Sorry, I thought I was going to explode. You went on such a lovely monologue there. I was like shaking.
Don't interrupt him. You did well, thank you.
Is there? So what? Is there something that just comes to mind now, which you can kind of say, I'm proud of myself for doing that?
Something I haven't said. I mean, I'm really proud of the dancing thing, to be honest. But I should probably try and think of something new, shouldn't I, just to keep it interesting.
You can be proud of your dancing.
Thank you.
I'm proud of your dancing.
Dad?
Allow me.
Finally.
Ignore this face.
Yeah. Let me close my eyes. Put on a Cockney accent. Yeah, no. To be honest, I'm not gonna try and dig for something new for the sake of viewers. I am really proud that I can have that experience and just not be ashamed of like the way my body is or it moves, or and just be able to enjoy it, because that's new for me. And that is part of like a whole wider thing about, we haven't got time to talk about it now, but like, and to be honest, I don't really want to talk about it publicly anyway, but like sensuality and like being in my body and intimacy and sex and stuff, and like I've always been so repressed and so sort of out of my body and uncomfortable and awkward, and dance is like another dimension to that same thing. So I'm excited about exploring that part of myself a bit more and getting to become more comfortable with myself physically. That sounded... I shouldn't have said physically. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah, no, I absolutely get
But
it.
I don't want to go there.
But I will not dance that camera for you right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm proud of myself for that, and
Yeah.
it's a positive.
That's lovely. That's
What about
really
you?
nice.
I feel like I've taken all the conversation.
About me, I mean, I'm probably proud of myself at the minute for my newfound ability to let go of the reins and to give in to the idea that the level of control that I have over my life is very limited in terms of external things that can happen and will happen. Like, I have very little control, but the one thing that I can control is how I react to external and internal stimuli. So rather than getting worked up and trying to really hold on and focus on, like, what can I control, how can I steer this right, or how can I steer this in a direction that's going to make me feel safer, and really force and focus on the fact that I'm trying to escape something, just actually letting go and being like, right, the direction that I'm moving, things will naturally get better, and I don't have to necessarily steer the ship.
Yeah, there's like a trust.
The only thing that I have to steer is just my own emotions and my own reactions, and actually, rather than steering those, I just need to let go and surrender and let the feelings move through me, rather than trying to steer them in a direction.
Yeah.
That is fundamentally
Always trying to control.
me trying to control my
Yeah.
reaction to something that I don't want to happen, and also steer my emotions in a way that's going to get me through this really tumultuous time faster,
Yeah.
rather than actually going, actually, the fastest way through is, in my head right now, is doing nothing and just sitting down and going, right, this
Yeah,
will
you're
pass.
right, man. You're right.
And that's what I'm proud of, and that all
be.
stemmed from me getting tinnitus, and that spun me out, and I've had like 2 years almost of coming to terms with the fact that the ringing in my head I can't switch off and I can't escape, I can't run away,
Yeah.
and I've got to accept. And in a roundabout way, in a really fucking strange way, actually having that occur to me has actually allowed me to become a better person, because I've always struggled with control, and the universe went, I don't think you're quite listening to to what's going on internally, so we're going to give you something that
you absolutely
cannot control, and and is like an alarm bell in my nervous system.
Yeah.
And weirdly,
Learn
that's
to cope with this.
That's allowed me. Coping with that has allowed me to like fundamentally deal with that
Other stuff too.
that,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, that's powerful. That's
that
profound.
life journey that was letting go of control.
That's really powerful. I can imagine I would struggle with it in the same way that you would. I know a lot of people do. It must be really, really hard. You should be proud of that, man. That's good.
Absolutely, I am.
It was nice to hear as well. There's things to take from that for me as well.
Yeah. How do we end this? Do we hug?
Yeah, let's have a
Do
hug.
we shake?
A kiss.
Oh!
Shall we dance?
You know it.